Hi. I have no plans for today. Uh, I don't have any subject matter to get on top of. I've got literally nothing. I don't have a single idea of what today's stream is going to end up being. It's just been a while since I've done one on this time zone. I've usually been streaming much later for people in the Asia time zones for sake of they voted on it basically. So I've just been doing the Genshin stuff on that time zone. But I haven't streamed on this time zone in weeks, and it's like, okay, I probably should, right? I should probably do something. But nobody ever gave me any sort of like thing to do for today. I asked about it on my community tab a couple of times and nobody said anything. So I literally have no plans. I am just going to be sitting here until we can figure something out. So welcome to the stream where nothing is happening. I don't want to do another Q&A one. That was like my first stream ever. I kind of answered most people's questions. The burning questions that they were. But I don't think I have anything else to really do. So here we are. Does anyone have any ideas? I'm kind of open for anything at this point because it's going to be a very boring stream if nobody has any ideas. I am empty. I have no ideas of what to do. Why do I have hornet spray on my desk? I forgot that was there. I'm going to put that back around the corner where it was. Twitch. Yeah, let's just go to Twitch. That's an easy change. It's valid, but also like not right now. It's not an easy change. That was the point of my dry humor. I have to stop streaming, get all of the other stuff set up, turn everything on, go over to it. Get like the stream account like reconnected because you can only connect to one per account in OBS, and it's like, okay, got to do that. It's a little involved, I guess. What is this message? Okay. Good to know. Apparently somebody's having a surprise later today and I have to be there for it. That's fine. I don't have to leave my house, so that's a win. Listening to Toho music, they're copyright free. I mean, I've heard a lot of Toho music, so that'd be hard. Especially a lot of the like popular ones. I've actually already played on the drums a few times and sweated profusely as a result. I should probably think about like I could do Twitch streams on this time zone pretty easily. So I should probably start doing those as a like in lieu of just sitting here and talking. Uh we'll see. Twitch and I internet connection wise have not gotten along, and that's kind of why I stopped streaming. It was a major factor in it. For some reason, YouTube works great, but Twitch would always just constantly have frame drops. And the second I came to YouTube and started streaming here, nothing. So I think Twitch just hates my internet provider, which is fine. I don't love them either. But it does make it kind of harder to watch. What about Twisted Metal? Oh, as if I didn't play Twisted Metal a bunch when I was younger. Have you met me? I am a disturbed individual. All right. What's my opinion about it? I mean, Toho music is its own thing. Toho music is Toho music. There's not many ways to describe it other than most of the time batshit crazy. that's that's kind of where Toho lands for me. I've never played Toho. I don't really know the game series at all. I just know the music from it as most people know it. So it's kind of in there. I don't really have much else to give on the opinion. The music is varied enough where it's like, I mean, a lot of it is obviously fast paced, high octane because it needs to be, because that's kind of the point of like a bullet hell shooter. So it's like, okay, that tracks, but also the music all kind of hits that same vibe for the most part. Or like a lot of them honestly kind of sound samey. It's not that they're bad and they don't all sound exactly the same, but a lot of them have like a very similar energy. It's like, oh, okay, here we are. Yeah, I played a lot of Twisted Metal Black. That was like the main. I think it was just because that was the one I had easiest access to. I never even owned it. My neighbor had it, and my cousin had one of the other ones. I can't remember what. I don't remember which one. Oh, had Calypso at the end, and he was like very poorly animated in 3D. Like his facial expressions, he was always lifting his eyebrows when he talked like this, and he was like, "Haha." Like, I I don't remember which one that one is. I remember that just because of how ridiculous the story endings were. Have I listened to Die Midsummer Nacht Fantasy? Yes, I did actually. Did do a video on that one. That's what sucks about doing daily videos too, is that a lot of people pop in, they're new, they haven't like slogged through the entire backlog of videos. So like they don't know, but it's in there. That one I did sometime, I think last month. That's Twisted Metal 3. Yeah, okay. I As I remember playing Blackmore. I probably remember the story because of the absurdity of 3 as a result. Is it a rock game? Well, Twisted Metal is a series of like, I guess they're kind of like battle cars in a way. Uh, it's kind of okay. I'm gonna try to find a way to word this. Imagine if a god of chaos decided to play battle cars, but with like human lives, and just basically threw a bunch of psychopaths into armored and like souped up vehicles with chainsaws and guns on them, and was like, go. That's Twisted Metal. It's ridiculous, but it's fun. It's not for everyone, but it's definitely an enjoyable experience, especially if you were uh ever just a little left of center mentally. It's really good if you're not entirely mentally healthy. And that goes for like basically any type of mental health. You can be like a really nice person, you know, like really kind, but you have those repressed anxieties and angers that you want to get out. Twisted Metal. You can be a psychopath yourself and be like, I would love to simulate murder. Twisted Metal. It can hit so many it's so many options for people who just want to get energy out into the world in a healthy fashion. It's a little insane in a good way. I think there was one in like 2011, maybe. I don't remember. Whatever the like last like game in the series, I really liked that one visually and like just playstyle wise. It was really fun to watch. I never played it myself. I watched one of my friends play it, but man, it was good. It just looked good, felt good. Mario Kart battle mode with yeah, yeah, Mario Kart battle mode with psychos, guns, and chainsaw vehicles. That's why I said it's kind of like Mad Maxy. So Mad Max Mario Kart is is the boldest summary of Twisted Metal. I'm gonna play the new Armored Core. Nah, I don't really play many games that much anymore, really. Once in a while, I'll pick one up for a couple of days, and then I'll just stop playing it. Like, I played Overwatch 2 a bunch up until recently, just because I fell out of I fell out of playing it, started focusing on YouTube more, and then just never opened it up again. Okay, I opened it up like twice since then. So twice all summer is all of my video game play. That's literally all I've done. I haven't played any other games. I opened up Overwatch twice for about 20 minutes each. Will I give aim to the stream? Depends. Right now we're just kind of talking. We're just kind of going through chat and figuring things out. But the game thing is kind of weird for me because, like, I still love video games and gaming news. I follow everything and I know what's happening. I know what's coming up and I know what's popular, what's not. But I just don't play them myself because of time. I don't find as much enjoyment as I do just following up with the news of it. Playing games to me, for some reason, just kind of fell out of fashion. I think I overplayed them when I was younger. And that's all that led to. Project Wingman I have not heard of. Oh, because it's a combat action fighting flight. That's why. That genre has never interested me. So that's why. When it comes to like what I hear about news, usually I hear about most things when they happen. Like Wingman kind of rang a bell, but I didn't know why. Now I know why. Because it wasn't interesting to me as a potential player. As I always hope that something's going to interest me enough to actually give it a shot, but it takes a lot for that to happen. Have I tried playing Arknights? Nope. Not really planning on it. Same with any gacha game. I've never played a gacha game, ever. I've never even downloaded one. They just, again, that genre never interested me, the whole microtransaction thing, and I know that they're optional, but that doesn't really make it more palatable. It's just not my thing. I really enjoy the media that comes from it, but the games itself, eh. And Library of Runia sounds familiar. Why is that? Oh! Oh! Yes, I have heard of this one. I looked up the name and I recognized the logo and the characters. I have seen this one. That would make sense. Have I ever heard? Yes, I've heard every Elena Sigmund song ever. I can actually play 115 and what's the other one I can do? Come on, not Beauty of Annihilation. Abracadabra. I can play both of those. I know them pretty well on drums. 115 is harder than Abracadabra, but I can play both of them to at least some extent. I never really tried to play Beauty of Annihilation, though. And I have heard Archangel, I just never learned to play it. You want to see me watching people playing a rhythm game? I can do Archangel 230 BPM. Well, okay, it's not the speed that's the problem. It's just the way it's played. It can be the technicality that can strap me a little bit. That's what can get me and confuse my brain. I feel like watching people play a game is not good content. Like, I know me sitting here and talking to you guys is arguable on content as well, but at least I'm trying. I'm doing something. But I feel like I should do something a little bit more. Listening to Toho music, which has had a few people say that, it's like I could, but I've heard most of it, so it's that would be kind of a lackluster subject because I wouldn't be able to have a legitimate reaction to certain things, which is most of them at this point. I can't tell you how many times I've had to play Bad Apple on drum streams before, amongst other songs. There was a guy who came to my streams and almost exclusively for a couple months straight, so 2 to 3 times a week, would always come in and request Toho music, always different songs. And I through that I've heard like 3 or 4 albums worth of Toho music, and I know that there's more than that, but he was always the person to send in both like the greatest hits and some of the obscure like that's what I'm looking for, like cult classics, I guess. Only know of it from Cosmograph. Dude, Cosmograph seems to be like a really cool person. Hold on. My chair is way too far forward. I was not in lounging position. I was not in peak gamer position. There we go. Yeah, like Cosmograph seems like a pretty cool person. He's commented on a few of my videos before, and I have another one of his songs that should be up for patrons tomorrow morning. That I kind of give him a little bit of shit again for his mixing and his mastering, and I'm like apologizing because it's like I like Cosmo's music a lot. I like the flavor. I just really wish that Cosmo like was a little bit more broad in the mix. His mixing is very thin to my ears, and I'm a fan of like heavier bass when it comes to electronic, and it always feels a little bit thin when I hear a Cosmo song. So it's like, well, Cosmo's been super nice about like the criticism on that end. I hope I'm not like actually like pushing him away. Like, haha, you suck. He doesn't. I love his music. But I also really wish that there was like a remaster of some of his songs because I feel like they could punch a lot more than they do. So I'm hoping that he's open to hearing that. I know he can't really do much about it at this point, but it's also like, man. When I listen to Tower of Fantasy music, I don't even like, I know Tower of Fantasy by name, but was that another gacha game? I don't know the actual free-to-play open world action role-playing game by Hada Studio. Yeah, definitely got gacha elements. I don't even have to read farther about that. Free to play open world immediately means there are microtransactions. That's gaming these days. Unless your name is Nintendo, that's basically a go-to and a guarantee. I mean, I could listen to Tower of Fantasy music. I don't know that game really at all, so that'd be something we could do. Unless somebody else wants to argue for another option. I'm kind of loosely gauging a subject for the stream, so I'm kind of waiting to see what people are saying in chat. I've just been answering questions throughout. This is what happens with my first ever stream. The same thing happened where I was like, I didn't really have a subject. It ended up becoming like a 3-hour long Q&A. It doesn't have to be. We just have to find something that actually like makes sense to focus on. But since I couldn't think of any subject by myself, here we are. There's always options. It's just a matter of what do we do? But if we're gonna do the Tower of Fantasy thing, I would need like a specific song. All songs you listen to by him. Okay, fair enough. I mean, the one that I just did last night, I think was Harvester. Pretty sure it was Harvester. So I assume that one was also near the beginning of the game. Again, though, it's just like mostly a mixing mastering thing. I love his actual compositions. He has a lot of fun with it, but it's also just how thin they sound. It's like, man, punch me in the gut with that electronic. Don't make me all sad. Like, you always expect to hear a little bit more aggression with electronic music in the mix. I don't know why I'm playing with literal SD cards here. It's like a fidget toy for me. I've got things that I play around with on my desk. Lens cap. I just kind of play with this. Always have ADHD toys, even if they're just random stupid things you don't really focus on. I just put hand sanitizer on, like I have literally a bunch of stuff that I just kind of play with. I was playing with this SD card reader earlier. Little things to twirl around in the fingers. Magenta light bulb. Like, always have options. Never let them see your next move. I even have a pair of drumsticks. Like, I could just sit here and twirl these. Without hitting the microphone. That's harder to do. Because I'll just end up hitting the microphone every time I try. How's the phenomenal bounty going? Not as well as it should be. Honestly, like, there's been a lack of phenomenal agents bounty going. I've tried to post about it and mention it, but I don't like to push things either because I feel like that's really obnoxious. Like, to me, I would find that obnoxious. With somebody just constantly going, hey, have you given me money yet? Like, I don't like doing that. But right now, we're like not even 50% of the way to the first goal. Like, we're not anywhere near, and it's ending at the end of the month. Like, September 1st is when it ends, and we don't even have $100 of the $200 for the first goal to be hit. Like, at this point, the cats and bow ties aren't going to be happening, which is unfortunate because I was kind of hoping for that. But yeah, that's not doing too well. I guess when I wanted to make it a little bit harder than the first one because I only asked for likes on that one, and it was way too few of likes. But this one, I was like, let me try something a little aggressive, and I was like, okay, actual money for a bounty. Throw donations at me, and we will see how things go. Nobody really did it. There was like 10 people, and one guy was like donated multiple times. That's the only reason it's as high as it is. It's kind of unfortunate, but that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. You just can't get people's attention on certain things. I guess Phenomenal Agents is not the most like popular song to have ran with for that. But it's also, yeah, we still got like, what, 20 some odd days? It's not impossible to hit the top goal, but I'd have to start pushing it a lot more. And I feel like people just aren't as interested in seeing the Phenomenal Agents one as they would be something else at this point. So, do what we can, I guess, but I don't have high hopes for it right now, just given the time frame. But we could have some people show up all at once near the end and go, "Here, take all of my savings," and then I'll be strapped in to do it. But I'll digress on that subject. So yeah, Wolfmaster is really popular. I knew that was going to be a thing. I just didn't know that it was going to be as popular because that was still like early in to me in the Arknights community and Gasha stuff. So I was like, okay, it's a song. Let's see how it does. And I ended up picking one of the most popular songs first. And it's like, okay, I could do a bunch of other ones as well. But I really liked Phenomenal Agents. I thought it was a fun song. So I was like, I could totally do that one. Think it would be a fun time. But I guess not a lot of other people agreed. Which does happen sometimes. Like, I like a lot of the songs, but the ones that I hear and I'm like, that would be fun to cover, a lot of people would be like, why? Why would you do that one? Why not do this one? It's like, I don't like that one as much. Simple. I really do like a lot of them, but I also have to keep in mind the reality of me learning it in a timely manner instead of making people wait 2 to 3 months like what happened with Wolfmaster. I did not expect anyone to, like, okay, the Wolfmaster one, I was expecting to have to do it at some point. I wasn't expecting it to hit overnight, basically, because I was hoping to have at least a week of practice before it even got accepted. So I was trying to like play to the advance of me learning the song. And then it happened immediately, and then I had immediately less time to practice it, and therefore more people had to wait longer for me to actually get to the cover, which was unfortunate because they were waiting so long for something that I had promised almost 2 months ago, 3 months ago. And when it finally happened, it was like, cool, but I couldn't do it as well as I wanted to. I didn't have the time to really practice it, really nail down those hard parts, really sink my teeth into it. I couldn't. It was unfortunate. So I had to just do what I had, and I wish I had played it a little bit better as a result, but it was either that or wait another month for it to come out, and I didn't want to do that, even though it was going to be slightly under the performance I wanted to give. That's what we were just talking about, Theo. I lost my lens cap toy. Oh no. No more fidget for the lens cap. Luckily, I have the SD cards still. Gotta have my fidget toys. Yeah, Phenomenal Agent's goal is not going well. And that's kind of what we were talking about with like expectations on what songs and when and where. I guess people just don't like Phenomenal Agents as well as others. So it's like, okay, we'll get there. But then it never happened. So it's like, I'm always loosely hoping it'll work out, but definitely no guarantee that it will. We only got a few days left in the grand scheme of things, like less than half a month. But some songs just aren't as popular as others, so here we are. I would say we're maybe roughly 30 to 40% to the first goal, and we're like 10% to the stretch goal. So stretch goal is basically not going to happen in any way, shape, or form. There's still a possibility that the first goal will be hit, but it's going to need a lot of support coming out of basically nowhere. The Phenomenal Agents I've already practiced a few times, but I've actually stopped practicing it more recently because I see that it's not really going to hit the road as well. So I'm like, okay, maybe we aren't going to be doing this anyway. So I stopped playing it because it's, why learn something if I'm not going to have to learn it? So that could change, and in which case I at least will already know what the song is like throughout the song, and I'm able to pick it up from where I left off. But I'm not going to start getting to the nitty-gritty of like teaching myself certain parts of the song and just basically getting through the slightly more difficult parts of it if I'm not gonna have to. So that's where I'm sitting now. It's like, oh, that song is not at all anywhere nearly as hard as Wolfmaster was to learn, so I'm not really concerned either. But it's still a matter of like, will we even have to? Probably not at this point, but we'll see. Let us go do something actually for real. Ba, 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 ba. Let us see. Yeah, probably. Like, I can't even do a drum cover to Golden Age Will Return Again because that song doesn't have a drum set part. It's got a like a traditional drum part, and I don't have a set of traditional or orchestral drums to even mimic that in my room. So that's not really a cover I could even manage. You like black coffee? No, I don't even like regular coffee. Like regular coffee. I guess it's all black coffee, isn't it? I'm not a coffee person. I'll drink it if I absolutely have to, but I basically have to make it pretty much a cappuccino before I can drink it. It can't be anywhere near the original form of black coffee. It has to be pretty much white by the time I'm able to palate coffee. I do not have a bitter taste palate. I have a very, very aggressive sweet tooth. So, do I listen to Vocaloid stuff? Sometimes when it actually shows up. I know how to play World Is Mine on the drums, blindfolded with my hands tied behind my back. That's because that was the song I learned on the drums. God, it must have been 2011, and I never forgot it because I played it so much. All right, I saw that Tower of Fantasy Chocolate comment in there, so let me open this up. This would be safe for me to listen to, I assume, since it's a game theme. Should I listen to the English version? Or I guess there's an English version? Or the original version? What about doing Vocaloid drum covers? I mean, I could. But that one's kind of hard too because copyright kind of does get in the way with that one as well. I've tried to avoid those when I can because it creates a gap, and it's like those are annoying to fight because then CPM gets a little messed up when you start messing too much with copyright stuff, even if you don't monetize it, and people just don't follow those. And that's why I always credit patrons at the end of those videos, because they're the only reason I'm able to upload a song without monetization for any period of time, because I'm still getting paid through them for it, and I kind of use that as a surrogate fund for doing copyright protected stuff. AS 2023 should be out in a few days. Yes, I've heard the 22nd. So I might actually stream that this coming Tuesday. I could. I don't have work that day. I could totally do that. Maybe that'll be a plan. Keep an eye on my my community tab for an update on that one. I'm gonna double check all the time and everything. You sent a super chat For the bounty? It hasn't appeared on there yet. Maybe it's on my... Let me open up the app. Whoop. I don't see it anywhere. Weird. Maybe it'll come through in a minute or something. Sometimes they're a little delayed. Usually super chats just appear in the chat and I see them right away, but I don't see it here. My next song for Nikkei is already done. I was talking about Harvester earlier. That'll be the next one you guys actually see. That'll be 2 days for public view and tomorrow for patrons. All right. Let's see here. Well, let's listen to Chocolate, shall we? I don't know Tower of Fantasy at all. So this will be something. Got a little animation going with it.
No need to be shy. The sideline's clearly not the place for you. Let this music take the wheel and let it melt away, shall. It's a mesmerizing spell.
Breaking up the four.
Cheers to my arrival, every city that I go. I know that this is my show, but you're the brightest idol. Come on over and be front and center with me. I will show you exactly how it goes. Everybody come say hi. Everybody jump, get high. Let me see a double fives. Let's go, let's go, let's clap them. To the beat of the chorus, I'm singing for
We get. Where is this gonna go? Okay, that's exactly where I expected it to go. Not too much, not too little. A little bit of a rise, but not too much. Can't lie, whenever I hear a build-up, I hope for a drop. But this is kind of just more of an evolution. A little bit like Kawaii Future Bass. I can hear that. Hey? Hey! Gotta have a rap breakdown these days. You can't get away from it. Part of me feels like this might have been better in its original language for me, but that's just purely because it's extremely cringy for me to hear somebody in English say Choco Choco. It sounds so bad. It's just it sounds awkward. It doesn't sound natural. I don't know. It's just because that's not a thing that we say in English. We don't go Choco Choco. It's not cute over here. It's awkward and kind of cringe. Not gonna lie. Whereas like you hear somebody in Japan or China, Korea do that, and you're just like, oh, okay. That's just what they do over there. It's fine. I'm gonna completely turn the cheek and yep, they just do that, even though you know it's not right. It just, knowing that it's not natural to the US, I'm like, why are you saying it like that? Just say chocolate. What the hell? I saw the comment, Zuria. It hasn't appeared on my feed yet, which is weird. Because usually they pop in. Oh, wait a minute. You meant earlier. I thought you meant like right when you sent that message. I already saw yours like an hour ago. Yeah. I thought you meant like now. I was like, why isn't there no notification? It's because I already saw it like an hour ago. I just scrolled down and I saw the name. I was like, oh wait, duh. If you had the numbers behind your name in chat, I would have noticed. Let's see here. Okay, nothing else really new in the chat that I saw. I saw Guilty Gear Strive songs next. Could probably. I do know Guilty Gear more than I know most other games purely because of exposure, but don't apologize, Zuria. Nothing for you to be sorry about. I just didn't know what you meant. That's on me. I should have scrolled once and I would have been like, oh, it's on me for not remembering the name attached to somebody throwing money at me. That's my own fucking ego getting in the way. That's not your fault. That's me. I think this is the original one. I wanted to... Oh, yeah. Yeah, see, it sounds way more adorable immediately. It feels so much better. It's not that the English one was bad in comparison, it's just less cringe with the whole Choco Choco part. I'm going to blame regional norms for that one. Rock Parade. That sounds immediately interesting at very least. Am I going to get in trouble for this? We'll see. If I do, I'll just have to mute it on the VOD. Okay, a little bit of prog going on. I'm forming opinions.
Now it's just a few footsteps on the two small ones to live. Darkness and silence that don't really come out of sleep. That night there was only enough to last a lifetime. Words I need to turn into facts. Battle cry. All the sound and light seem to be blessing us rock parade.
Okay. I'm only pausing because like there's points that I wanted to clarify. I kind of feel like the song is going to be the same for the rest of it, but I feel like there's probably going to be a break in here somewhere. Probably where this most replayed section is. There's probably like a solo or something. So far, I don't hate the way that it's written overall. I think it has some really fun things going on with like how it's spaced and separated. The different chunks of the song being placed as they are is interesting. A little bit proggy. That has some stuff in there. The drums are kind of bothering me a lot. Like a little, but a lot. It's not that he's playing poorly, I guess, because the majority of the drums are fine, especially at the beginning, and then at some points during the chorus and the bridge to the chorus, really like some unnecessary bass drum hits that are just like really sloppy and they feel less clean, which is a stylistic thing, but it's not one that I've ever been a fan of. I prefer like working the drum, like the bass drum, to the rhythm guitar or to some way matching it up with another one of the instruments, whereas he's putting in a lot of like boom, 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 like a lot of flam hits on the bass for really no reason, and they don't fit with any of the other instruments, so they just feel clunky. It feels like a car you're driving is hitting a road bump like all the time, like you're constantly running over potholes. In a song that is otherwise pretty smooth, the extra bass hits are not doing it for me. Again, that's kind of a thing that some drummers do because they just like a lot of playing on the double pedal or playing on the single pedal doing a flam, but it's like, you could just stick with singles. You don't have to do a double every single time the opportunity arises. I do that a lot too. I'm guilty of it. Haha, guilty gear. Haha. But in a recorded song, if I was like writing a drum part, I would never do that, just because it feels less clean and a little bit less, I guess it feels less thought out. Like it feels more amateur doing that than it would if you just cleared it out. If you did it live, sure. Nobody cares what's happening live. It's live, you know, like just let it go. But in a recording, I would say maybe don't do that. I'm going to listen to the rest of it though. I'm sure there's cool stuff that's going to happen. Yep, I was right. But does it gent? Yeah, the crazy switches make sense, but it's just some of the technique going into it doesn't. See like the ride cymbal on the upbeat here. That's kind of fun. And I was right. Is that where the solo was? Pretty much, yeah.
Into wax battle cry. All the sound and light
Just the whole battle cry. That's goofy. That's silly. Thought they were going to do another measure there. Valid. But yeah, I guess that's kind of my general opinions on the whole song. Like, as I guess that there was going to be a solo, I was correct. I guess that there was going to be a breakdown, I was also correct. They do change out a lot of stuff in there, and that's not bad by any means. It's just some of the choices from the drummer that were really throwing me off because of why, like, I couldn't figure out a reason why they were doing that. And at least in my head, if there's not an actual purpose for doing any specific part in a drum song, then part in a drum song, if there's not any specific reason to do something in a song on the drums, then why is it there? You know, it feels unnecessary. It feels a little bit jumbled up, unclean, like I said. So it's like, I'm going to give that one a mid out of 10. See here. I do love the battle cry. Battle cry. That's goofy. I do appreciate a little bit of goof in the music. Let's see what this one is. All right, Ace of Spades, chill.
I thought counted so long ago. Enemies keep coming after me. Still acknowledge, yeah, you got it all. If you ask me, yeah, it's all a game of chance. Don't know the thinking. Life never goes that way that you want. That's how it is. No matter what life throws at you, take it all. Whoa, fight like a tiger, walk in
Yep.
the park, play the hero.
This one just sounds like if Jeff Williams was told to cover Motorhead. That's a description for you. That's what this one feels like.
Till I die, fly like an eagle, soar through the sky, be free until you die.
We stand a solid bass solo.
I don't believe
Yeah, the drums are a lot more clean in this one than the prior one. They all make more sense. There's no, like, random hits that don't match with other instruments.
No matter what happens, face it all head on. Whoa, fight like a tiger, walk in the park, play the hero till I die.
This one is a lot better for me.
Soar through the sky, be free till you
It's definitely got that, the like 80s metal kind of feel to it. That's a very, very dark ride sound. It's very deep ride. That was interesting, actually. They're having a lot of fun with the drums on this one. There's a lot of playing around.
Fly like an eagle, soar through the sky. Be free till you die. Fight like a tiger. Fight like a tiger. Fly like an eagle, soar through the sky. Be free.
The big finish note. Yeah, that one was a lot cleaner in the drums. It's not that the other was bad or anything, but it's definitely cleaner. I also just realized I never transitioned over to the scene. I was just sitting here and there was no like little thumbnail of what I was listening to that whole time. That's fine. Not a big deal, but it's also like, man, do I know of Honkai Impact? How to say you're new to the channel without saying you're new to the channel. Hi. I probably should make proper playlists on my channel. Actually does kind of make me wonder, what was the last? Must have been a little over a week ago. Was my last Honkai video? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, 2 weeks ago exactly. Was my last Honkai one. Purely because I mostly focus on Honkai in the animation space, purely because that's a lot to get to and I don't get to the individual songs nearly as often as a result. But I've got stuff. I don't think I've done Domineer or anything. Again, I'm more animation side stuff, so most of the this stuff oh, hello, my cat has arrived. She has shown. Hi. Come on. Hi. Do you want up here? Are you gonna actually come up here? Or are you gonna sit down there and think you are? Are you? Well, come here. Xena. Where are you? Hi. How you doing? Why do you always like run initially? Even though you know you're gonna want to be up here. You're so goofy. Sorry, I was fighting with the tsundere cat that is Xena here. Hi. I know. See, like she loves me, but she doesn't want to admit it. Like she wants uppies, but then she gets mad when you try to pick her up, and the second you pick her up, she's like this. She's pathetic. She's the most tsundere animal I've ever met in my life. Hi. She literally has the energy of Taiga from Toradora. It's like the not like I like you or anything, Baka. Like if anyone sees her cuddling, she gets really defensive. But then in private, when you try to like get her into the cuddle position, she's like, "No, you can't like pick me up." And then you pick her up, and she's like, "Okay, sorry, I was mad." She's a mess. Yeah. Microphone. Face. Yeah. She's going to take on You're weird. You know that? Look at this baby. Why? Why must you touch face? Sorry, we're just vibing with Cat now, I suppose. What, did you just see yourself? I think she just saw herself on the monitor over there. She was like, wait a minute. Cat stream. Oh, why'd you just love bite me? What was that for? Why? Paf, cat. Paf. Paf, cat. See what I mean? She's pathetic. You are shedding like crazy. You know that? She's just sitting here, like, kneading on my shirt. But she's also shedding like she's stressed for some reason. She doesn't have any rhyme or reason to be shedding like this, but I don't know. Her hormones are weird. We'll see if she does the shoulder thing. I doubt she will, but let's see. Nope, nope, nope. She's down. Ugh, she also poked into my neck. Ah. Sometimes she'll just sit there and just vibe on my neck, but not every time. Sometimes she's just not feeling it. Throw the cat hair away. Brush it off my shirt. Jeez. More hair than usual. Now she's cleaning herself because how dare I ruffle her feathers. As if I was the one that did that. But if I were to call her back over here, she would be like, okay. Hi. Nope, she's being full tsundere right now. Nope, she's too busy cleaning herself. She doesn't feel like it. She's valid. Anyway, what were we talking about before the cat thing? She needed attention. I had to give her attention, but now we're back on to whatever else we were on before. Just making sure I wasn't bleeding on the back of my neck. Sometimes your nails do go a little deep. I'm fine. Was oh, we were doing the Guilty Gear stuff. But then we stopped doing the Guilty Gear stuff because cat. And then the Destiny 2 stuff. I'm kind of worried about Destiny stuff purely because it's a big studio and they're more local and they tend to be a lot more stingy about their music copyright. I'm not positive about Destiny's stuff being not problematic at the end of the day. Like, they'll probably cause me issues in the post process of this stream. Because how dare I listen to a song from a video game from the West? Like, it's usually not like a full-blown strike, but they'll do that thing where they like take all of the revenue from the stream. And it's just like, it's a little goofy. I don't much care for that. So fighting with Western studios on copyright is usually much more difficult. Whereas like the gacha communities and they don't care. They really don't. First time catching stream, I'm sorry. Just in general, I'm sorry. No. Somebody has canceled. What have I not done? Yeah, it's really more of a behavior on the community, like, social side, more or less. But usually it's bigger studios from the West that have more of a problem with that, so it still kind of tracks. A lot of big Western studios are really douchey about that sort of thing. Let's be real. Right? They don't like sharing anything. So the I was just looking at the in my patron list. Apparently somebody has retired their Patreon subscription. Salute. I get it. Not everyone can just throw money at somebody else indefinitely. I'm not sad about it. It's just like an, oh, okay. Rest in peace. I always wonder though, because like not all of them will fill out the, like, there's like an exit survey that you can do on Patreon when you leave. So it's like, what's the reason for leaving? And it has a bunch of like canned choices. You can just pick one from a list. And a lot of the time it's just financial situations changed. I get it. Why do you think I have a Patreon? It's kind of the same reason. But then there's also like, I'm fearing for the day that I see one where the reason is it's not worth the money, because then I'm like, what am I not doing that I should be doing? Help me. Help me help you. Like, I can offer more. I just don't have much else to offer right now. Oh, first time for your stream too. Hello. Blizzard doesn't have an issue with cinematic and music going around. Yeah, but Blizzard also has a problem with not touching their female workers. So Got him. Starting OnlyFans. I have actually thought about it before. Because I have thighs that do not quit. And I have legitimately considered doing like an OnlyFans that like I shave my legs and basically do just pictures of me in tights. You might think that sounds weird, but I've got some sexy legs. And people would definitely follow for that. I've got very toned legs. I've been a biker for a majority of my life, and then the drums with double pedal and stuff. My legs are well toned. You could totally manage that. But it's also just a matter of keeping my legs shaved is kind of annoying, and I would have to. In order for that to be realistic, I'd have to shave constantly, or at least do Nair all the time, and that's just a lot of work to keep up with. And then my legs are cold in the winter. I was like, pros not outweighing the cons of that. I'm talking about my potential OnlyFans lopful. That's what. Wax them off as if it wouldn't grow back. You know? That's a lot of pain for maybe 2-3 months, and then it'd be back. I am a hairy man. It doesn't last long. Nair lasts about 2 to 3 weeks if I use Nair. And then it's back. Basically full length. And I'd have to do that every couple of weeks in order to do photo shoots for it. So, nah. Oh yeah, the Blizzard cinematics are fine. I don't like the company. But as you said, art and artist is a separation that can be made. Like the Overwatch cinematics are consistently beautiful. Don't get me started on the Diablo 4 ones. Those were great, but it's also like I'm not going to support the company. And the other reason those are so good is because they usually hire out all of the effort side of that work to people who actually know what they're doing, which I wish more studios could and should do, but they don't. So it's like, we got what we got. Arknight's Ideal City 3D event animation. I'll get to the Arknight's animation stuff over time. They actually don't. Well, I mean, like outsourcing as far as like they don't send it to like a different country to do it. I mean, they give it to teams that actually know what they're doing, like in-house, but with people who are separate from the problem children. At least, God, I hope so. Last thing that animation needs is more people getting canceled. Have I listened to Nightglow? Yes, I'm pretty sure I have a video on that one. Because I think I did the song for Nightglow as a separate piece. What games do I like playing? Not really much of anything, to be honest with you. Lopful, I'm not a gamer anymore. I play stuff very rarely anymore. But I just kind of fell out of gaming as far as actually playing. I still follow news and everything. I like the community and the concept of gaming, but I'm just not a fan of gaming. Actually playing the games, because that takes like commitment and effort, both of which I don't have. I'll put some background music on stream. I would, but it's also like I gotta remember to turn it off when I start playing a song and stuff. And since that's what most of these streams are, I just avoid having music on them because a lot of the time I'm not listening to nothing. So this is just kind of one of those in-between things where it's like I should, don't is if I were to throw in like my what is the, hold on. Yeah, if I were to throw in the I think it's this one. Yeah, there it is. So it's like, I could just play this. I also don't know how loud it is compared to my voice. Probably fine. The mix of it looks okay. It also kind of distracts my ADHD a bit, having noise. I should probably turn this off, at least on my side. Should turn monitor off for that, just because it hurts my brain. Let's see here. We comment on the animation for phenomenal agents rather than music. I mean, there's not really much to comment on for the animation. It's just kind of there. I mean, yeah, every animation has things that it can be talked about, but a lot of the stuff in the phenomenal agents video is stuff I've already covered in basically every video I've done on animation prior to now. So it's like, I'd just be retreading ground that I've already covered. And I don't feel like there's much of a point in doing a video or a segment on that at that point. I would just point at the other videos and be like, everything I could say has already been said. Go listen to those. There we go. Just catch back up on chat stuff. Heard any Millie songs? The name kind of sounds familiar. I don't know why. Oh! Yes, I have. I have. I was just looking through here. I was like, what? I have heard a few of these, yeah. I think I played one on the last drum stream, even. Pretty sure I have. Maybe I'm thinking of a different game. I've seen some of these thumbnails, though, so I've definitely played at least one of them. You build my PCs... Oh, I build my PCs myself? Yes. I don't know where the, where that context is coming from, but yeah. Maybe there's context you're going to bring up, and I just haven't gotten there yet. Got a song, Heal the World from Arknights by Kevin Penkin. Have I? I might have heard that one. I don't think I did a video on that one, though. Was it part of one of the concerts? Because that name looks way too familiar. Maybe I've just had a bunch of requests for it and never gotten to it. Is this a reference with me keeping up with tech, not gaming? Well, yeah, like tech and gaming to me are two completely separate identities. Like they're two different things entirely. When I say like gaming stuff, I mean specifically gaming news, gaming updates, gaming consoles and everything. I mean, it's not like I don't have things. I just don't use them often. And that's just the one that's sitting here. But it's also like, when it comes to the PC, yeah, I make all of mine myself and I keep them updated for what they're worth, but at the same time, I don't play games on them, so I build them for work, not for gaming. So like for this one, it's a, it's only an AMD, I think it's a Ryzen 3600, 16 gigs of RAM, GTX 1070, because I never had to upgrade for gaming. And that type of thing. It's like, it works well for what I do, and it holds its own for what I do. It doesn't really need a bunch of overhead for game stuff because I don't use it for that. So having a sick RTX ready 4090 is not on my radar at all for a computer build, because I don't need that much power, and I don't render in 3D animations, so I don't need that overhead for a GPU anyway, not even the CPU. So I keep it budget build because I can't afford much anyway, but also powerful enough that it can handle anything I'm going to throw at it initially. I do plan to upgrade this thing eventually, but I'm actually kind of considering dual booting it to a like Linux Mint as well, which I may do, because I literally have a Linux boot drive right here. It's in a sled, if that's why you were like, what the hell is that shape? It's just an old ADATA one, but it's got Linux Mint 21 on it. So it's like I could just dual boot right off of that onto here, but it's just a matter of doing it. I don't know if I want to. I have yet to bother messing around with it. It's sitting there because I have the intent, but not the plan, you know? I'll give it a go one day. I have a Linux Mint upstairs. It's my theater PC, but it's also a matter of like, do I feel like it? Do I want to deal with Ubuntu right now? It's just a matter of what I need at the time. Right now I'm doing fine on this one, but this has started to kind of give me a little bit of grief with handling exports. Sometimes there's a little bit of problems. Sometimes there's some startup fussery that happens. I think I might just need a fresh boot of Windows. The problem is that I can't really fresh boot this Windows. Yar har fiddly dee. It's not gonna work right if I try. So right now I'm just dealing with it. It's like, it works fine, but it's also, I'm aware that I'm going to probably cause more financial problems if I do attempt at the moment. So I'm going to do it when I'm a little bit more stable financially and able to handle anything that might shock me as a surprise during that process. But I do plan to give this thing a complete wipe and refresh. It's just a matter of doing so. It takes time and a lot of effort, especially for what I've got on this computer. There's a lot to back up. It wasn't in the concert, at least I'm pretty sure it wasn't fair enough. It must just be the fact that I've seen Heal the World so many times and I haven't gotten to it. Maybe I'll add that to my short list of stuff to get to then. I usually use Arknights for stuff when I have like nothing else to get to. And I'm like, oh, I should get to that. I'll keep like a list of songs from basically all the titles that I do reactions for and get to them as I get to them. And then if there's a gap where I'm just not feeling one that day, I'll go to that list and use it. Because sometimes you're just not feeling like it. You know what you're kind of getting into and you're like, I don't feel like Arknights today, I'm going to listen to a Nikke song. Or I'm not feeling Nikke, I'm going to listen to Blue Archive. You know, like whatever happens, my brain is kind of hectic when it comes to decision making. It do be the neurodivergent brain. I don't really have a consistent desire to do much of anything a lot of the time. So it's hard to jump on stuff. Like, I like doing the videos I do, but sometimes you kind of know what you're getting yourself into and you don't feel like doing it. So it's like, okay, maybe I'll do this other one. And that kind of just gives my brain a little bit of a shock, a refresh, etc., etc. Keeping a financial buffer for something breaks is always good. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I haven't had anything fail on this, albeit there is a 1 terabyte hard disk drive in here that I've had for close to a decade, and it's starting to make light noises, and I'm like, oh boy, might need to replace that. It's my old storage drive. It's got a bunch of old stuff from prior YouTube channels and ventures, and I need to back it up onto an SSD and prepare for an inevitable change. So I already know I'm going to need more money to handle this switch over, because I need to change that out first. Have you heard any music from the Outer Worlds? Yes, actually. That's one I can definitely say I have. Good evening. I don't know why I read every single time I read good evening like a cartoon villain. Good evening. Looking to be surprised, something new? Not every time. Sometimes I am just in the mood for something familiar. So it's like, I'll jump on a song that I know I'm gonna kind of have the gist of already. But there's also moments where I'm just not feeling working on something more. Like, that's why it's taken me a while to get... I have a deep dive for Spring's Pulse from Arknights that I'm scripting right now, and I'm basically done with the script. I've got one part left to do, and that's based on a schedule conflict right now, so it's like, you'll get there, but it is a matter of when that does happen. Cool. Video will basically be done within a few days after that. Yeah, SSDs are pretty cheap. Like, I got a 1 terabyte for that. I put a Jellyfin server on my upstairs Linux box, and that was only like 80 bucks. Wasn't that bad. I got it on sale though, so it's like, it was a Samsung though. I don't need to have one that pretty. But I'll definitely go for doing that at some point. But also 80 bucks is like a lot of money for me, especially right now. So we'll get there. It's just a matter of finding some time. Like, I have an entire savings account that I've been putting money into slowly to go on a vacation to Hawaii. I can tell you what's not happening right now, at very least. I mean, we weren't gonna try going until like spring, but we'll see how Hawaii's doing by spring. They're dealing with a lot right now, and I am not gonna stick my toes in the way of all that shit. I'm gonna stay away. If they're doing great by the turn of that year, then, you know, plans will still stay, but if not, I don't know. Recently started listening to sound. Oh, it's soundtrack. Okay, I was like, what do you mean? Right, the Outer World. Duh. Do community polls to see what's more of a request today. I do sometimes, actually. I do that on community polls once in a while, but only if I'm like actually curious. A lot of the time I just kind of go to the beat of my own drum, and I don't really mind if people are happy or sad about what I'm getting to, because if I'm not enjoying myself, then nobody will be, and I know that paramount. So a lot of the time it's like, community be damned, if they don't like it, that's fine, but I do sometimes wonder what they want to hear, if that's like a legitimate concern or a question that I have. But a lot of it, most of the time, is like, I have to make it fun for me, or it's not going to be fun for everyone. So if I'm already having a good time, then that's plenty. Have you heard Sora Tovsakana? That name doesn't sound familiar as written. Maybe it was misspelled? Oh, I thought it was a song. You mean the group? I was like, the group. Why does that sound familiar? It's one of those things where like I've heard of this group. I've seen pictures of them at very least. Maybe I think I've only heard of them referred to as Sora or Sakana. I've never put the words together like that. Weird. But I don't think I've heard any of their songs. I can't listen to them on stream because of copyright stuff. But I've at least seen it. Seen them. Stretch. Whew. A little bit of a crick in my my shoulder blade. I'm all slouchy in this chair. To an old Vocaloid song, Fairy Tale by BuzzG. Oh my god. There seems to be various uploads of this. And the one that they're showing me is an anime on piano version. So I don't believe that that's the right one. I would need like a link for that one, I think, because there's so many various uploads. I don't know which one would be right. And yeah, Corvo, definitely the whole, like, if you're having fun, we are. I hope that's the same for a lot of people. I know, like, there are some people who just, like, I only want to hear what I'm interested in, and it's like, that's fine, but you gotta understand that I'm not you. At the same time, it's got to be like a mutual understanding of like I will get to things at my own pace. It's the it's the Kiami one. Okay, this one was like the next down, so. All right. I would have personally written that differently. There, like, English is my only language, and I can't even get it right. I would have written this slightly differently for the drums. They kind of do it at the last measure, but I would have what God do I would have done more with the snare. I would have had like follow my hands. What they did was perfectly fine. I would have personally had a little bit more fun with the snare and putting it off beat. Uh, Overall, beautiful vocal tuning on that one. The BuzzG definitely knows how to utilize the distortion options in Vocaloid, like for sure. Um, it's one of those things where like that can be extremely powerful when done right. It's you just have to know how to write a song. They left enough open room for that first like dig in the distortion to make you go, oh, we're here. Oh, like it's a thing. It's there. It's you can utilize those, but people just usually don't tune their Vocaloid voices quite as well, or they don't think about it. And it's more like they write a song and then put vocals in with Vocaloid after it, and not really think about how to utilize the strengths of Vocaloid voices in the actual song itself. So it's like those are the songs where when you do think about that, you get those classic songs that nobody can forget. But it's just a matter of being that good. You have to be a good writer. Like Vocaloid or not, Vocaloid is basically just a medium for music. It's the same as any genre switch would be. You just have to be aware of your flexibility and your options, and a lot of people aren't. So it's the fact that they did a very good job utilizing that and making it happen. Oh, also, sorry, Dragon, I was listening to the song so hard. Hi. Yeah, I'm not live too often, but it's like when I am, the original tuning is pretty mediocre. Yeah, usually it is. And it's like, okay, great on Kiami for just balls to the wall with that tuning then. We see with the Hereditary thing. Yeah. The Hereditary is a great movie if you like psych horror. Not everyone likes it, but if you do, it's definitely like it's a must watch. It's a must watch if you're into psychological thriller stuff. Most people I would think who are probably have seen it already because it's just that at this point it's basically synonymous with the genre. You think of amazing cinematography and handling of psych thriller and you think Hereditary. It's a modern standard. But not everyone has seen it because not everyone's into that genre. Me, I'm a dark edgy boy. Of course I've seen it. I like the horror. Pretty songs before suggest boy who had wings from Oath and Falcana. That's a name, Falcana. Woof. Put a little bit of a in there. Let that Falcana. Whew. Core, high, It's just, you didn't say anything else, so hi. I say hi back. I showed you my hi, please respond. Yeah, like that's this kind of back on this song real quick. I want this part in here. That drum part is goofy. It's like it's completely playable, but it's definitely you'd have to be moving around a lot or have a very specific setup in order to hit the cymbals that quick. Which is, again, it's doable. I could even play it on my kit as is. It would just be a little bit more difficult. I'd prefer to have things lower and closer to each other for something that quick. I'd have to readjust my kit entirely to get that song to play well. Mostly because of the tom placement. They kind of run down the toms, and I have a one tom, two, like 1 up, 2 down tom setup. And that would not be ideal for that song because it would be so difficult to reach both. It's just fast enough. I'd have to like really slam my hands through to make it good. Boop. I'm moving things around on my screen. I've got so many tea bottles up here. Do I have a problem? Do I have a problem? I don't have a problem. You have a problem. You might be like, that's not much of a problem, but there is an entire garbage can here full of just these bottles. It is overflowing to the point where the only reason I have these bottles up here is because I cannot fit any more into this garbage can. It is physically not possible. How's that for 30 plus? Not a problem. I go through about 40 every 2 weeks or so. And usually I have usually I drink those before that set of 2 weeks is up, and I have to use sorry. Usually I finish before the end of the 2 weeks is up, and I have the flavor packets of green tea that I use as well. I like iced tea. All right, I like green tea. I'm not British. If I were, Hatsune Miku would not be talking to me. But as we already established, I'd be listening to Vocaloids. So, at very least, there's not a big bias there. That is a minimal 90 FT watt. Just get a freaking refillable one. What are you doing? Just get a refillable. I forgot to turn the music back on. See, this is what I mean. I can't have the music on in the background because I'll forget that it's there. I forgot to turn it back on. It's been like 10 minutes. This is why I can't have music going while I'm trying to like do streams, because I always forget that I don't have it on, because I don't listen to it, because it distracts me if I have it on monitor, which would help me remember before listening to songs. And then while I'm listening to songs, I forget to turn it off because it's off monitor. And then if I have it off monitor, I'll forget to turn it back on as well. So it's just, I really can't win with background music on streams because I constantly forget to deal with it. Because I don't like having it in my ears while I'm talking. I don't like my brain is buzzing too actively to have music going while I'm trying to also keep a conversation together. I need like one audio path at a time in my own brain. Tap doesn't taste as good. Oh, you're one of those water has a flavor kind of people, huh? I understand that there's different obvious varieties to how different water is bottled and non. It's just, at the end of the day, to me, it's fucking water. I don't get the, I only like this one kind of thing. It's like, I'll just drink it. It's water at the end of the day. But also at the same time, just adapt yourself to like use a Brita filter or something. I don't know. Then you're kind of working all around and you go through a lot less plastic waste. Like, who am I to talk, right? But at very least recycle them. I hope you're recycling at very least. Like, when you throw your bottles out, please recycle them. Don't just garbage. I know too many people who throw things into the garbage that are just completely recyclable, and they only do that because they don't feel like recycling. It's like, shut up. just shut up, nut up, and recycle, alright? You don't appreciate how different the water can taste until you've gone to the Alps. Until you've gone to the Alps. It requires a trip to the Alps. That's like a $5,000 one-way trip for me. I guess I'll never be able to tell the difference of water or appreciate it, because I'm not going to spend that much money going to the Alps. Hell nah. I can't even afford to leave my state 9 times out of 10. What do you mean going to the Alps? That's half a world away, literally. It's just kind of a meme, because like you find people who are like, I can't live without my Fiji water. It's like, shut up. I only drink smart water. Shut up. Just drink water. It's good for you. I don't care what your problem is with certain flavors of water. Just as long as you're drinking water, that's good enough. Just drink water. Hydrate. Jesus. Ooh. I was trying to read something and then I tapped something. Hold on. Oh, okay. Just checking there. Fine. Yeah, like I have a Brita filter here. It's there. I use it sometimes. Like I use Brita filter once in a while, but like if I'm going out on like a mountain bike track, I don't use it because like I'm outside. I just need water when I'm out biking. I don't need to filter every single ounce of water I'm bringing with me. And usually I put an electrolyte packet into one of them, like my main water bottle, and then I've got a back, like a pack full of water too, that I use for the rest of it, and that's just plain water, but it's all tap water because I don't really need to have filtered water when I'm just out on a trail needing water. When you're tired, you don't care what the water tastes like. You're taking whatever you got. You gotta have real spring water. I have had real spring water. I just don't really care. You know? It's just never been a thing where I'm like, wow, this is significantly life-changing and I'm going to affect my entire livelihood based on this one experience. I've never done that. It's just a matter of, it's water. I drink spring water, I drink some fancy, like, high-end water. I'm like, wow, that is definitely water. And I can, of course, taste the difference, but it's also like, you're asking me to taste the difference and then also care enough to, like, actively change something like that in my life constantly. Like, I could never, like, become so loyal to the one thing that I drink it all the time. This is not the only type of green tea I have right now. It's this brand. It's Lipton, purely because that's where the store I shop for the rest of my groceries sells. And if they were to ever change brands, I would just use that brand. I am not loyal at all. I like Lipton. It's smooth. But I've also had plenty of other brands I've drank too, and it's all green tea. As long as it's green tea, I'm good. Like, the brand I had before this one was actually a little bit more, like, tangy than this stuff. This is a lot more thin. Like, well, like I said, it's kind of more smooth. The other one had more of, like, a kind of a grit to it. Not, like, a physical grit, but it definitely... it was... Yeah, tang is probably the closest thing I could say to it. It was more spicy. I guess if you want to call it that. Like, not actually, but... It's like apple cider versus apple juice. It's like they both taste slightly different, but it's the same derivative, you know? But yeah, like, as far as that goes, it's just like, you get what you can where you can, and as cheap as it makes. The only reason that I'm getting name brand for this right now is because Sam's Club exists, and that's where my sister shops most of the groceries, and we have an account there now because of it. So we get stuff there, and they sell these in like 18 packs, and we get 2 of them because I'm a thirsty bitch. That's it. But before that, we used to shop at Aldi, and they had a different brand, and I got that there too. And it was same pack size, same bottle size, different flavor, basically. Decided to cut all sweets drinks years ago. Yeah, like, I don't really drink too many sweet things. This is the one consistent thing I have that's like specifically a sweet drink. It's like I drink these all the time. But I don't do sodas really at all anymore. I usually stick to juice, or if I do have a soda, it's just once in a while, or I'll have like a flavor packet in water more than I have soda or anything like that. And I've been doing that since I was like 17. It's been about a decade since I've started doing that. And I noticed almost immediately, like, I stopped drinking sodas all the time, and my acne went away immediately. It was like within 2 weeks, my face cleared up like crazy. I used to have like nasty acne. Now I barely have any ever. So it's actually kind of nice. Obviously, you're still gonna get 1 or 2 once in a while, but that was a huge turning point, realizing that, like, how much crap is in this stuff. I just stopped drinking crap. Started drinking stuff that was slightly better for me. It's like, not to say that, like, these Lipton teas aren't perfect. They've got, like, aspartame and stuff in it. But it's also, like, that's still better in a lot of ways. And I'm also a type 1 diabetic, so, like, I have to have the diet renditions of these, because the non-diets are, like, 20 extra carbs that I shouldn't be having anyway. So it's, like, you balance. You learn how to like things. Like, when I do have sodas, I rarely have a sugar soda. I usually have a diet or a zero variety of them. And a lot of people are like, ew, you like diet? It's like, no, I don't specifically like diet. It's just better than the alternative for my body. It's not that I prefer it. I prefer the flavor of standard sodas when I can have them, but I also try to limit my intake of straight soda with sugar and everything in it. I haven't, like, Mountain Dew, absolutely disgusting when it comes to it. Like, I like flavor of Mountain Dew. Stop drinking Mountain Dew if you are. Come back to it in about 2 months and drink it, and you'll be like, why does it taste thick? Like, there's definitely a weight to it that you don't realize is there until you stop drinking it, and then you come back to it months later and you're like, I was drinking this? That's thick. Why is that so thick? Like, why does it taste Like, it has a weight to it. It's because it's awful. It's so bad for you. Mountain Dew is one of the freaking worst. I mean, like, yeah, Coca-Cola has the same problem, but, like, Mountain Dew specifically, oof, it's got so much weight to it. It's like you stop drinking it and you go back to it and you're like, God, why do I feel heavy after drinking it? It's like, again, I don't mind the flavor of it. I have one once in a while, but it's definitely not my go-to if I have an option. I usually end up these days sticking with a clear soda, like 7-Up, Sprite, etc. Or not Sprite anymore. What do they call it? I don't remember. They like changed the name. I haven't had one in forever. But yeah, it's like those. It's clear sodas are usually plenty for me because they taste thin, but they get the bubbles through. It's basically slightly flavored carbonated water, and that works for me. It's kind of what I'm used to. But it gets that carbonation in there when you want the spice in your mouth. That was a bad sentence. Extra thick. Extra thick. Have to go for flavored stuff. Go for lime and mint. Yeah, that's there. Like, I like mint chocolate chip ice cream. A lot of people don't. I like mint ice cream. I also like artificial strawberry. A lot of people don't. That's just one of my personal things. That's neither here nor there. I understand why people don't like it, but it's just always been a flavor I kind of enjoy. So, like, strawberry milkshakes and stuff like that have that flavor. It's like, I don't know, I've always liked it. I don't know why. It does taste kind of like you're drinking Pepto-Bismol, but at the same time, it's a good Pepto-Bismol drink. Yummy Pepto milk. I don't know. Like, I understand where people come from when they say they don't like artificial strawberry. I definitely do, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna stop liking it. So some people just have the thing that they like that a lot of people don't. It's like, okay, that's fine. You don't have to like it. But also, how dare you shame me for liking something I enjoy? Fuck off. Artificial banana? Yeah, it's the same thing. It's like, I do enjoy that flavor. A lot of people don't. And there's that whole thing of it like being based on a type of banana that isn't sold anymore because of extinction. And it's like, okay, that's fair. But a lot of people just don't like it because they're not used to it and they're expecting the newer banana flavor. And that's not how they taste anymore. So we don't know that. So that's fine. You still like it. That's fine. Who cares? I used to like, I don't know if you know the candy Runts. I used to love those, the banana ones of those. It was the same banana artificial flavor that we all know, but it's, I don't know why the candy Runts specifically holds like this locked memory for that specific flavor of banana. I don't know if they even sell Runts anymore. I'm old. It's possible that they don't sell those anymore. They probably do. But they have canceled a lot of good candies over the years, so maybe not. This is a weird conversation. Why are we here talking about candy and artificial flavors? This is an odd topic. Odd topic. I guess there's really not much else to talk about here, because there hasn't been any other like music request stuff. We've just kind of been going down this flavor rabbit hole, and that's fine. You're in EU, so you don't even have it there. Valid. That's the other thing. It's like, I keep a handful of Smarties in my my biking backpack for when my blood sugar crashes and I'm out on the trails, which is great. Smarties are fantastic for that. Smarties are not known in most places as Smarties. They're known as Rockets. I only learned about that a few years ago because I have a friend in Canada who's like, what do you mean Smarties? It's like, I don't love Smarties either. They're just basically hockey pucks of sugar, but that's exactly what I need when my blood sugar goes low. So they're very convenient. you get down and chew, and they go away, and they turn into sugar basically immediately in the system. It's very convenient. It's like having a hardened pixie stick, for those who don't know what those are. Basically just a straw wrapper filled with sugar. That's all a pixie stick is. I don't know if they sell pixie sticks anymore either. Rec Lobotomy Corporation? What? What is that? It sounds like something they would make in the SCP Foundation. The Rec Lobotomy Corporation? What the hell is that? Oh, request. You said REC. Oh, okay, recommendation. I was like, what the hell are you talking about, Rec Lobotomy? I'm afraid of touching it because it is Project Moon. And Project Moon is a little bit terrifying for me. I don't trust that company. I feel like I'm gonna get my ass blasted if I were to play that song. Because Project Moon has been known for randomly copywriting random songs at random times for random people. And it's like, And the fact that it's called Second Warning makes me feel like I won't have a third, and I'm scared. Lament of the Few. Oh, it's like, oh, it's an Arcanite thing. At least I know it's more or less safe. This is spooky. Yeah, that was haunting. Shit. All right. I didn't I don't know how to break that one down. That was just a lot of atmospheric stuff going on. It's just all atmosphere. It actually reminded me of something from an old project I was a part of, but I'm not going to play it because it was a My Little Pony project. And I feel like I would get laughed at for the trailer. It reminds me a lot of the trailer music that we had for that. It had a very similar energy. A little bit more, like, I guess our trailer was a little bit more orchestral than that one was. That was a little bit more, like, atmospheric stuff. Do Ghana? Valid. Ghana. Yeah, definitely detuned on the piano a little bit. Just it felt like they were using a not a phaser, but like a bend warp in it to kind of make it feel a little bit unsteady, like there's a slight waver in it. Whew. Yeah. I feel like I've heard Wings of Victory. Or heard of Wings of Victory, so I probably have. Oh, that's why it sounded familiar. Goddess of Victory, Wings of Victory. Ha 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 ha. Now it all makes sense.
Spread the wings to victory. Even if the night is too long, even if it seems hopes are gone, we got fight till the break of dawn. Nothing stops us from moving on. May the goddess this triumph, may she give us a
She reminds me of somebody. I know who it is. I'll show you afterwards. This is fun. Very uplifting. It's got that same, like, this is like anime background music that would be happening during, like, the main character has reached their final form and is flying epically towards the big bad of the series. Like, let's go! As with most of Nike's songs, just a bop. They kind of make you do this all the time. It's like I'm just vibing with it. Like, I'm not saying anything because I'm enjoying myself. And there's not like much for me to say or complain about. It's just fun. I like the synth in here that beep, 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 beep. That's fun. It's just fun. Alright, I know it's an extended version, so I was gonna stop it there anyway. Hold on. Um. hmm. For some reason, I'm trying to find a way to see this without it being like a problem. Can I just... There we go. The character on screen there reminded me of this character, Spring from Studio Trigger, one of their like 3 humanoid mascots that they have. And it's just like, it's the hair mainly, but like I could totally see her cosplaying the other character and vice versa. They would totally pull it off. Just, I don't know why, that just struck me as funny. Immediately I was like, wait a minute, is that Spring? I need to go to the bathroom real quick, so I'm gonna be right back. Hold up. I'm back. Have I listened to Operation Spectrum? Yeah. I've listened to all of the Operation themes. I even did a tier list on them. Luma Voyage. It's in Osu, which worries me. Oh, the battle theme. Probably not. I think I do have a plan at some point to do the battle themes, but I just never did. The only reason that the Luma Voyage one being on Osu worries me is because that doesn't guarantee that it's copyright free. They tend to be a little bit stingy sometimes. Another one of those ones where it's like it can be a hit or miss, and I'm not entirely positive. I'm trying to like find information on it, but it's all in Japanese and I cannot read Diet Chinese. I can't read it. It is an indie producer, but that doesn't mean they don't have copyright stuff set up. I'm checking their Twitter to see if they're cool about it. It's kind of where I'm going right now. Sometimes they're cool about it, sometimes they're very like, please do not. Alright, this person is cool. Alright, we're good. One tweet, and it's all I knew to know that they're cool. Alright, we got that quiet future bass going. Alright. God, I'm tired already. God, they're really dancing around with those deep synths in there, aren't they? There's a lot happening. I was about to say, there's no way that's it. I would love to see somebody actually play that on the piano. Like, for real. I don't even think that's physically possible. I mean, it probably is. I don't play piano, but that was a lot of running. I was like... Oh, I definitely believe that they're self-taught. If only because this song makes no sense. And that's exactly why it works. It's always the self-taught people who have no clue what they're doing but manage. Yep. That is entirely that is entirely somebody who thought of a kind of a fun melody to roll with, and the rest of the space was just filled with runs, just constantly up and down all over the place. It sounds really good. Nothing sounded wrong on it, but what I said earlier about it making no sense, it doesn't. A song like that is so everywhere that there's no general structure to it. You have the rhythm, the melody, and everything else is completely haywire. And the only type of people who can do that are usually people who didn't know what they were doing from the beginning and found it out. And it leads to this very unique concept in their sound that just sticks with them as their identity. And that's perfectly fine. It leads to a lot of interesting musical choices later, and that's kind of what keeps music evolving throughout generations and nothing sounding exactly the same. You always have people who do stuff like this that they're like, oh, okay, that's new, or that's different, that's etc, etc, etc. It's a lot. Oh, I see you also want me to watch the Dylan Gu Legend of Changhua. I Chongwei. Is it Changhua or Chongwei? I don't know the language well. Just hit me like that. I might have said that wrong. I guess it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but I try. Try to get things accurate. I've put up his animation as part of a poll about a week ago, and people voted for a different video to be done, so I'll be doing that one instead. It's just a matter of what people wanted to see first. I did try to like DM Dylan to ask if I could do a breakdown of his video, but they never got back to me, so it's like, all right, fine. I get it. Not everyone gets back to DMs, especially on Twitter. Yeah. I know that other people have reacted to it, so it's not like I'm gonna be fucking like canceled for it, but it's still a matter of doing it, so I'll get there. I just don't know when or how soon. That one might become like a thing I might do on a live stream at some point, but I'm not entirely sure yet. It's one of those things that I do plan to do, just whether or not I actually do it is kind of up in the air. Just like most things I make videos on, it's like, will it or won't it? It's entirely up to how I'm feeling that day. All of the animation reviews and stuff I've done are entirely based on like, do I feel like recording that, because they are more difficult to record than other like the music reaction ones. They're harder to edit, they're harder to record because they take longer. It can take me an hour to do just the recording of an animation reaction that's like maybe a 6-minute video, because then there's so much to talk about that the review and breakdown section takes upwards of an hour to record that alone. So it builds time. So a project like that I know is going to be a little bit more full of things I want to talk about, it's going to take me some time, and it's probably going to, as a result, take me longer to get to it. But I will probably at some point. It's just a matter of when, being up in the air. But people wanted to see me get to, I think it was a Fate thing, some memorial video. I didn't even know it existed, but I don't do Fate. It's never been like my thing, but I'm sure the animations are freaking great, because all the other Fate stuff I've seen anime wise has been gorgeous. So it's like, okay, I've just never watched the anime itself. Like, I've never cared about the Fate series. It's never interested me. But the quality of the animations and everything are really high, so I'm sure this project, whatever it has, will probably have similar quality. I digress. I should probably honestly be going. I'm a busy man. I just have a lot of things I want to do, and my brain won't allow me to do all of them. But I should be going, because honestly, I've got more things to do before I have another stream today, even. In, let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 6.5 hours. So Or is it 5.5? I don't know. Bad at math. One of those two. But just a matter of when I get to those. But the later stream will be the Genshin live stuff. The like, I can't remember if somebody said there were fan concerts, like short concerts or something. I don't remember exactly, but I'll have to go back and look at the exact vernacular used. Again, I'm not part of any of these communities, so like it's hard to lock down some of those things when I don't know better. Either way, I'm going to call it here so I can go and rest my brain for a couple of hours, get some other stuff done, get some editing done before I have to do the next stream, because I'm not going to be able to record after that. I'm going to want to go to bed immediately after that stream, so I'm going to get all my stuff done prior to it. With that said, I will see you all at some point in the future. I might try doing a Twitch stream next time I do one in this time zone, so keep an eye out on my Discord and or my community tab. I'll announce those like a day or two before I do them, just because it's a whole different platform and it's harder to push people over there when I do those streams, but I'll let you know when I do that ahead of time. But either way, thank you all so very much for sticking around here for a completely aimless concept of a stream. I did some random reactions and not much else. So, yeah. Bye, everyone. Thanks for being here.